Josh Widdicombe podcast. XFM.
Our special guest is Alan Carr.
Oh, what did I sound surprised? I knew. Oh,
Yeah, what a surprise! You just thought you.
a cup of sugar. No, yeah, I am here, and it's great to be here, Josh.
Thank you for coming. I was saying to Neil that it's almost there's no need to say Alan Carr. You've got the you often obviously get told the distinctive voice.
Yeah.
When we used to go on tour. I was your support on tour.
Yes.
And you'd go around
Well,
with
no, comedy, not emotional.
Oh, yeah, no. No, Alan,
All the breakdowns were so bad. Josh was always there. You are funny, Alan. Your voice
Don't listen to him, Alan.
Isn't scruff.
They were smiling. They were smiling. They might not have been laughing, but they were enjoying it. But you'd go around with a flat cap and different glasses, and then the moment you'd order a chai tea latte in your voice, every head would swing round.
I know. Well, the trouble is, often we'd go to, like, villages, weren't it? And then they'd never even heard of chai tea latte, so they knew we were from London.
Yeah. In a little
chai tea
chef,
latte, please. I know that's the thing. I mean, I put a hat on, like if I go on the tube or something, and like a beanie and stuff. But, you know, I'm not being all like that. But, you know, if you've got I don't have a PA, and if I've got to go to the post office to pick up a parcel, I don't want to be like kissing babies and waving at everyone. I just want to pick the parcel
Have you been asked to kiss a baby ever?
all the time? Kiss a baby, signing bits, you know, women just
Of the baby?
so fun. Signing bits of a baby, any bit. And and also, you know, female parts, which, you know, I don't know why they think I'd enjoy that. But yeah. So and you know what, though? Like, you know, on the tour, I am a bit like an opera singer. People want to hear me hit those high notes and the low notes. It's all in the same sentence, so I have to protect my voice.
Of course. Chai tea lattes to keep it warm. We'll be talking to you throughout the morning about, for the first hour. I'm not keeping you here against your will till 1
It's
o'clock.
like a hostage situation. But no, yes, I'll be here for the hour.
Yeah, you better be.
Yeah, I will be. Don't you?
Otherwise,
Get me a chai tea latte.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
That was Tom Adele with Hold Me on XFM. And Alan, you were just saying you've got him on Chatty Man this Friday?
Yes, yeah, looking forward to that. We've got him, Russell Brand. Oh, Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
Hot legs.
yeah. Well, thank you very much. But I did
I've
a...
never seen you in a pencil skirt before, John.
well, you got to dress up for radio, haven't you?
Well, it is a Saturday morning.
Get the old Lily Whites out. We were talking about you. We're going on tour with you. I was trying to think of the highlights of our
How
kind
many
of 2
cream
months.
teas did we end up having?
We were living a kind of life of a kind of British aristocrat for a couple of months, weren't we?
Because I like hotels. When they always say to you when they book all your hotels and stuff, what do you like? Do you like these inner city ones where there's a multi-gym and you're in the thick of the action? And I'm
You
like,
go, do you know me?
I'm like, you know, like something like it might have been a murder, like in a Miss Marple.
Yeah.
And so weren't it in the lakes, didn't it? And just away. And
There was one where I got in the room and there was a pillow menu. Do you remember this?
Oh,
and you could order the pillow of your choice and there'd be little descriptions.
yeah. Which one did you go for?
Well, I went for quite a firm pillow, but I did that thing where I thought, well, you know, that kind of when in Rome, you've got to do this.
Yeah.
And the moment the receptionist picked up the phone, I thought, there's no turning back from this. I've become a horrific human being. Yeah, I'm never going to... But we got offered a fish pedicure. Do you remember this?
Yeah, we got a complimentary fish pedicure. They said they loved the show so much, didn't they? They said, you and Josh, please come to have a fish pedicure. And we couldn't find it. And it was only a small place.
We were walking around for... Would you have gone... Have you ever had one?
I don't like anyone touching my feet. And so sometimes when I go and have an all-over body massage, you know, when you're on holiday, and the women touch my feet, I do, and I just worry that people in the next booth think, I didn't know it was that kind of place. And
I recognise that voice.
Yes. Oh, chai tea latte, please. Yeah, they massaged the cloth cap I was wearing in disguise. No, so I can't. And also, I find my calves are an erogenous zone.
Right.
I don't know. So
is this a scoop for XFM?
It is. And sometimes
I don't think the fish would go up as high as the calves.
Well, it depends how far you put them in. That's all I'm worried about. I mean, sometimes wearing wellies can be very pleasurable. Or pop socks. No, which I see you're wearing with your pencil skirt. No, I mean, I don't know about it, but do you hear that those fish are getting fat?
I've heard. Oh no, I've heard that they get infection and pass it on. This is the thing I've heard because they eat the skin.
It can't be good, can it?
You're being eaten by a fish slowly. I think we had a lucky escape.
Yeah, I mean, would you? How are you like with your feet?
I'm all right with my feet. I quite like it. I had my first massage ever last week. I went to a country house for a night.
Oh yes.
As a kind of reward for hard work.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm justifying it to you, as if you're looking at me going, "How dare you?"
Yeah, without me. You know, we always go to country houses. You didn't have a firm pillow as well.
No, I couldn't. I'd have been too tearful as I phoned up. Just one pillow, please. No, I went to Babington House. Have you been to Babington House?
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, I had a disaster on the way there. I got a virus, and I was driving down the motorway in a hire car, and the virus hit, and I had that thing where I thought I'm going to be sick within the next 10 seconds.
Not the hire car.
Yeah, and all I could find was the case for the sat-nav.
Oh, no.
So I was driving down the middle lane.
Sat-nav go, what are you doing?
It later took me through a very bad route through central London, which I feel is revenge.
Serves you right, yeah.
But I had to keep the car on the road at about 70 in the middle lane while throwing up into the sat-nav case.
Oh, my God.
So I deserved a massage after that.
Yeah. But didn't you find the massage makes you sick?
No. I found it. I didn't know what to do with my mind. I didn't know what I was meant to be thinking. Was I meant to be thinking about the massage, or was I?
The thing, my mind wanders.
Yeah.
Know, and Russell Brand's on my show, and he's into that meditation and stuff.
I can do that.
Well, a fan sent me a meditation, and he's meant to last an hour, but I tell you, like 5 minutes in, you're like, oh, I must empty that dishwasher, and you're like. Oh, that dry cleaning needs to be picked up. I mean, I can't. And then halfway through, this voice comes in, and it's like the man from the Saw films.
Yeah. What?
Relax your mind. I'm like, it's terrifying. Do you like games, Alan? I'm in your head, Alan. Yes, I mean,
that's...
Yeah, but I get it. But I did feel a bit tingly. But then, I'm a bit of a worry. And you're the same as me. We were worrying, weren't we? I mean,
I don't think I could turn off. Russell Brand, I mean, obviously he's learned to control himself far more than I have with my mind.
I've got no control, you know that.
No. Well, while we ponder on that, I think if ever there is an end to a link, we'll get that made into a jingle. Just Alan Carr. I've got no control,
At the end, I've got no control.
Josh Widdicombe podcast. XFM.
This is Josh Widdicombe on XFM, still joined by Alan Carr, and we are talking. Well, we've kind of gone off on a tangent to talk about being massaged and how saying we can control our minds during a massage.
No, I mean, have you had a head massage?
I haven't had a head massage.
I was very disappointed because I sort of assumed you'd go off into another world. They sort of think that. And you'd hear about, oh my God, I had a head massage, and I woke up 2 days later and I'd had the most beautiful sleep. But I don't know, I just found, and also, I get psoriasis.
I didn't know.
I've got all sort of, in my head, it's a bit disgusting, but scabby head things. I mean, I sort of, it's a bit, if I shave my head, I look like a toffee crisp. And so I do get worried about the massaging it. And, because, in the hairdressers, when you put your head back in the bowl.
I love that.
Oh, no, but don't you think they're always going, oh, my God. Don't you think the girls are looking at each other going, oh, my God.
Well, my problem when I put my head back is I really enjoy that head thing. But I don't know what facial expression I'm allowed to pull.
Oh yeah,
because I don't want to be sat there going, "This is amazing, I love it." So I'm just staring ahead tensely, but also
because they're usually like 15 or 16-year-old girls.
Yeah, I always check their age beforehand, Alan. Just get them to show me some ID. Yeah.
Thank you. You can massage my hair. But no, I don't like it. I mean, that's why I can't switch off, isn't it? I mean, but the worst thing is when you're wearing the gown as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then you try and they're thinking you take your glasses off, and then, of course, you're fiddling under the gown, putting them in a case. Pressing the button, trying to get a supervisor over. What are you doing? Putting my glasses away. But yeah, I can't really, because I think they're all pulling faces.
Have you had this thing? I went to the hairdresser the other day and he offered me a beer.
No, that's wrong.
It's not the place. I don't.
Was it a hairdresser?
was
it a Yates?
It was a Wetherspoons, yeah. It was Curry Club at the hairdresser. Didn't know what was going on. No, I was quite. I took it because I always do that kind of thing when I think, well, this is quite neat. It's not really the place to get on it.
Do you tip? Because, I mean, that's hairdressers, that weird thing where you tip, yeah?
Do you tip a hairdresser?
Of course you do. I'm not saying, like, here, £100, you know, bottle of Cristal on me. But, you know, don't you give them a £5 or a tenner?
Is that right?
You are.
Oh, my word, I didn't know this.
That's why they're giving you beer. They're thinking, oh, my God, we've got to do something. He's not tipping.
Loosen up this square.
They'll be pushing out a fish pedicure for you to put your feet in just to get a tip.
Well, I will from now on.
I tip him. His haircut's awful. But I used to go to one in Manchester, and he was like a proper mod.
Right.
So he'd always give everyone like a Paul Weller haircut, even like the women. So you'd go in there and I'm like, but you know, it quite suited me because... Did you have
a Weller?
Yeah, well, no, only because it's thinning, and when it's thinning at the front, you can have that severe, you know, thing a bit like Joan of Arc across there, and then have a bit of a mullet. I mean, it did look right, but I mean, if you ever went and said, look, I don't want to be a mod...
Yeah, I don't actually like the jam. It's like, all right, get out.
You know, I do prefer a power ballad. Get out. So, yeah, he used to cut everyone's hair. I mean, you'd basically pass people in the street and go, oh, you go to Dave's. You know, you're a woman.
Well, I had other things to talk to you about, but as we've shown, our minds wander. So,
I know.
Let me give you some time just to kind of de-stress.
When we were on tour together, there was never a dull moment. As your listeners will probably think, God, what do they talk about?
If you imagine this in a Mini Cooper, then that was 2 months of our life.
Stopping every half hour to have a cream tea, didn't we? Like, did you put jam on first or cream?
We never settled it. This is XFM.
Josh Widdicombe.
Welcome back to XFM. Josh Widdicombe, joined by Alan Carr, and it is now Series 10 of Chatty Man.
Oh, I know.
Still as fresh as the day you started.
Oh, I know, honestly. No, I mean, everyone's really lovely about it coming back, 10th series, but then I read one review, because I don't buy the...
Do you read the reviews?
No, but... The woman who does the PR at Channel 4, she sent me over all the clippings, and so they were there on the desk.
Yeah.
So I'm going back, and I never read, because I can only imagine what they say about me. So I opened one, and the first two were great, and then the other one, like, surprisingly into its 10th. Surprising. Surprising?
Maybe they just mean it's flown past. I can't believe it.
Really? Well,
I mean, I was genuinely furious you returned, because we were cut down from 45 minutes to 30 minutes on the last leg.
Well, I said I'm not coming back until Josh is put in his place.
You've got Russell Brand on this week.
Yeah. Russell Brand, Tom O'Dell. Who else have we got? We'll find out on Monday and Tuesday who the rest are. But I mean, Russell Brand's amazing. I love Tom.
Is Russell Brand the perfect guest?
Absolutely brilliant. He is like a proper raconteur. I mean, this is everyone knows this. I mean, it's no gossip, but he's just absolutely brilliant. I could just talk to him for hours. He knows everything.
Did you used to gig with him back in the day?
Yes, but you know, it was when he was...
Was it always like, this is the guy that's going to be in Hollywood, or did that come from nowhere?
No. I mean, the first time I saw him, he exposed himself and said some things about something which was really grim.
Yeah.
Accused the audience, and they were booing.
Oh, my
Get
word.
off. And then he was introducing me, and he threw like a Bacardi Breezer against this thing. And went, Alan Carr! Like that, and walked off. So I come on, and then I'm like trying to get this crowd back. And then I hear this sweeping up behind. A woman has come on stage to sweep up the Bacardi Breezer. And I said, don't you think this is hard enough? And I got such a big laugh. But I said to the other people on the bill, I went, that man ain't going to work again. And then there he is, a Hollywood star.
That shows your nose, Freya.
I know, I could never do X Factor as a judge. I just think he's brilliant. But I mean, he admits, and he says to me, "Oh, Alan, do you remember that?" And, but he's turned it around, but he's just brilliant.
Yeah.
I just think he's brilliant. He can do everything amazingly. But I just thought, oh, this poor man. I thought, he's off his face, he's on trouble, and he's just like. But the worst thing I got was I was doing this gig and I was dying of death, and then I thought, is it raining? Because I thought people were throwing M&Ms at me and they were ricocheting off my glasses. But when you're that.
What were you doing a gig? A cinema? What was
It was at the M&M store in Leicester Square. I got some new material. I just want to try it out in the corner. No, but I mean, there's so many people. You know what? There is that stage now where, people see stand up and just want to do it. But, there's so much rubbish out there, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, some people got 10 series, surprisingly.
I know, surprisingly, yes.
You've also got coming up the Spectacular for the Grand National.
Yes. On the Friday, it's the Friday before Grand National, and it's it's the usual fun and games.
I've been coerced. Well, not coerced. That sounded coerced.
What a lovely way with words you've got. Coerced.
To take a horse. There's a Twitter sweepstake we're doing. Is that right?
Yeah. And I don't really know the ins and outs of it, but I mean, every celebrity's going to have a horse.
And we're going to the Grand National.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Have you been?
My dad used to let me have days off school to go to the races.
Because you were such a fan?
Well, no, because my dad's addicted to gambling. No. No, he's not. No, but we used to go, have days off school and go like Newmarket, Ascot, and watch all the... and you get to learn all about the horses and stuff. I can't read or tell the time, but...
But you can see the silk's colours.
Oh, I can spot them.
I know which trainer that is.
I know all the tic-tacs. So I used to do that. But my mum is just... Because my mum had not had a bad time at school, but she sort of resents teachers. So my mum's like, no. So you said, Mum, I've had a day of school. I've got to go back. You've got to write me a note. And then she'd write, Alan's ill. 2 words on a piece of paper.
That should be the name of your next tour show.
Alan's ill. Yeah. No, Alan's not well. So are you going up there and...
I'm coming up, yeah. There's I think we all get to go if we've got a horse, but I don't know
I've got to go, and I'm looking forward. I mean, it's a good atmosphere,
Yeah.
I did get some militant vegetarians, or vegans, on my Twitter page when they saw, any horses die today? It's just sad.
Well, let's hope we can get through the day without you killing a horse.
Yeah, let's hope none of us are humanely destroyed. I'm hoping to get so drugged that I will be humanely destroyed at the end.
Well, I'm hoping I'll get the horse.
Something's gone very wrong if you end
up on the Pendolino back to London with a horse. So Spectacular's on April 5th, I think.
The Friday, and then we're filming that, and then we're straight up to Aintree.
Okay, sweet. And the channel, the Chatty Man is 10 p.m. Friday nights.
Yeah.
After last leg for one more week.
Yeah.
Just one more week. Oh, sad times.
I know, but
we'll cope. We're back.
Yeah.
Back in August.
When are you coming back?
August. Are you there?
August. I'll probably be after you as well.
Yeah. Well,
Why
I don't know why I've ended on such a
depressed
somber note. Unbelievable.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Are you okay, Alan? You were looking around. Do you need a drink or anything?
You look at me like that stroke advert? My face, arms. No, I'm fine. All I did was look at my reflection. My God.
You might want to have a...
Then. Are you all right, Alan? What is it, face?
But,
arms.
Don't worry, don't worry. Tea. Well, what's the word?
Oh, that's like I'm doing one of those things.
Oh, it's facts.
It's make me a cup of tea, isn't it? What's another tea? Milk, 2 sugars, please. I know.
That's the fourth sign of a stroke, is that you ask for a cup of tea.
Don't mind if I do.
we're going to have a stroke, I might as well be not be
have a nice
parched.
cup of tea. That advert, it stresses me out.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
No,
Don't worry.
let's move on. Upbeat.
Upbeat. We were talking earlier about the tour where I supported you on the warm-up.
Yes.
Yeah, we went to some
the
fun
longest
places.
warm-up ever.
The longest warm-up. We were boiling hot.
By now, Alan.
You're not going to pull a hammy, don't worry. My friend James, who's in he comes in the final section, supported Milton Jones on tour.
Oh yeah.
And he did Manchester Apollo. I presume you've done Manchester Apollo at some point in your career. Illustrious career.
I put illustrious before career, but you don't.
No, I don't.
Career.
Surprising. Your surprising career. I don't know if you've had that. I don't know if you've ever been to the wrong show. Do you know Mario Balotelli, the former Man City striker, who famously,
and everything,
fireworks set off in his bathroom, all that.
Yeah.
James, I would describe as how would you describe him, Neil? A kind of awkward man in a Marks and Spencer's jumper.
Perfect. Yeah.
Single.
Well, yes, unbelievably not.
I'm on a +1 for Grand National.
he needs humane destroying, but he had Mario Balotelli mistakenly went to a hip hop gig, he thought, but mistakenly attended James Acaster and Milton Jones at the Manchester Apollo.
Oh no, hip hop. Milton Jones.
He thought it was his. He thought for some reason got confused between Milton Jones and his friend who was a hip hop artiste.
Oh my god!
Have you ever been to the wrong show?
Not really, but you hear of people. The trouble is, some of these these tribute acts, their names are so similar.
Have you got a tribute act?
No, I haven't. But you hear these names like, Noasis, By Jovi. I heard one the other day, like Amy Housewine.
That's very.
But I mean, if you turn up to see Amy Housewine and go, oh, it's not the real thing. I mean, talk about finger on the pulse. But you get some people going, oh, and I went to see Cher. And it weren't her. And you're like, well, you went to, Bolton Conservative Club. She ain't going to do it there, is she?
I think Cher should do a surprise tour of the venue.
Yeah. But they're like, there's a reason why they're only going to be at an arena, aren't they? Or somewhere. No, Cher or, Janet Jackson. She ain't going to pop in.
I don't think Janet Jackson's got a tribute act.
No, I should know. But then sometimes they're a bit sly, aren't they? Some of these Motown acts, a lot of them have died, and you get, Gladys Knight and the Pip.
Yeah. So what we want this morning is if you can text in with when you've gone to the wrong show. What's the text? 83936. I remember that. Normally it's not on the wall, but it's there.
Yeah.
It's now. I've done enough weeks where that number is burnt into my head.
Imagine by the 10th series how tired and depressing.
The surprising 10th series. When you're turning to your own Globe drinks cabinet to start the show.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
Thank you for joining us, Alan Carr.
Always a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Do you want to do a kind of? We were saying neither of us are very good at plugging. Do you want to do it
No, it's just Eggy.
Just Eggy.
I mean, I've been there for 10th series. You know what I mean? I know I keep on about it, but if you don't like me or something, you're not going to watch.
People have made their mind up by now.
Think so. What's Alan Carr bloke?
God, he's very camp.
Yeah, is that voice real? So it's 10 o'clock on a
Friday night.
And then if you want to watch Spectacular as well, that's on sometime. You get the gist.
Thank you, Alan. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, thanks, love.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
This is XFM with me, Josh Widdicombe. Good morning, Neil.
Good morning, you right?
Yeah, it's hour 2. I'm just going to move my mic downwards, so this might make a sound. What I'd done there at the beginning of the second hour is I'd overestimated the height of my mouth, and so I was having to stand like Liam Gallagher while I broadcasted. Thank you for Alan Carr for joining us in the first hour. Are you going to thank him, Neil?
Sorry, I was just amazed by his loveliness.
Well, all right.
He's a lovely man.
Get a room. No, he is a very nice man. Thank you, Alan, for coming on. I think 2 things came out of that. Well, a lot of things came out of that conversation, but 2 things for our themes this morning on text. Number 1 was our discussion of getting a free fish pedicure. What is the worst thing you've got for free? Have you got anything on that, Neil?
I'll need to have a think.
You'll need to have a think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did just spring that on you.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you're still coming down from listening to Two Door Cinema Club. And our second theme, which I did say at the time, was about going to the wrong event, mistakenly going to the wrong event. There's I had one where two people came to see me in Edinburgh, and they'd actually got tickets to see a woman called Camille O'Sullivan, who was a French burlesque singer. And they left after 10 minutes. You go, how did it take you 10 minutes to realise I wasn't Camille O'Sullivan?
Where are the feathers?
I was so... we've got a text in on this. So, as always, we like a league table, don't we, on these things?
Yep.
So, now this is... you know how I like to positively encourage better certain behaviours. Often going off topic is one of my favourite. This is this is the longest text we've ever received. It came in 3 parts.
Whoa.
Yeah, so and I'm going to positively encourage longer texts as long as you want. Just really create a scene. So this is from Michael. Strap in, Neil. We may not be getting to play another song. We had tickets for a press screening, Big Shot. I did the Big Shot myself. Of an American independent filmmaker, an art house auteur, Harmony Korrine's new film, Spring Breakers. By all accounts, a violent, drug-filled tale of robbery, sex and excess set against a backdrop of American college life around the infamous spring break holiday. That's the kind of opening sentence you want. You're going, where is he going to take this? Because already I'm on board. Sounded interesting. Too bloody right, did it, Michael? Not least for the controversy surrounding former Disney stars Selena Gomez and Vanessa Hudgens' foray into edgier content. And it was rated 18. Yeah, I like the fact it was rated 18, as if we're still impressed by that. In our late 20s, we're going, oh, an 18, eh? It's not Gremlins, it's not Critters. I remember the first time I saw Critters, but we haven't got time for this because of the longest text in the world from Michael. Whilst going into the screen, we bumped into and chatted to a colleague of the guy I was with, who was looking after the guest list. After a few minutes, she pointed us in the direction of the screen and we went in. We sat chatting before the film started. This is unbelievable. Short of describing their outfits, this has got to be the most vivid text I've ever received.
So much colour.
So much colour. We were chatting before the film started, later than advertised, we observed. When it did, the opening shot was a painfully long single-camera move through the streets of provincial France, which, judging from the mise-en-scène, was set sometime in the 1950s after World War II. Bit weird, we thought, but as the camera eventually stopped on a shop front window and a close-up of a typewriter, some jaunty French music kicked in around the same time as English subtitles, and the terrifying realisation set in that we had been sent to the wrong film. By now, Spring Breakers was a good 15 minutes in, so we decided we had to stick with the Gallic wildcard, and instead ended up 2.5 hours. Oh! No film I want to see is no more than an hour and a half. 2.5 hours of broad-humoured, quaint tale of love and romance as a young French girl tried, during ever-increasingly serious, relentless montages, to become the fastest typist in the world. I mean, this is going to top the league table, just pure...
Just for effort.
Such a rich tale. To become the fastest type in the world whilst falling in love with a boss. It was so overtly twee and good-natured it made Amelie look like the human centipede too. I mean, I think we could all agree that I mean, I'm out of breath after that. But that's the level of tweet on it. But when have you been to see the wrong thing? Gone into the wrong cinema, gone to the wrong play, etc., etc. Text us on 83936 or tweet us at XFM.
Josh Widdicombe podcast. XFM.
We're talking about when you've gone to the wrong thing by mistake. So far, top of our leaderboard is the world's longest text, isn't it? Which is about going to see a French film by mistake when trying to go and see... I can't remember the name of the... I was going to say Showgirls. It wasn't called Showgirls.
Spring Break.
Spring Break. Yeah, so have you... As always, Neil, my rudeness means that it takes at least 2 songs before I ask you if this has happened to yourself.
Not personally, but there is a tale about my wife and her mum. They sat down on the sofa one Saturday night to watch a film together. Well, I think me and her dad were out, and she put on Crash. Now there are 2 films.
Yes, I can see where this is going. Oh no.
There is the kind of the thought-provoking LA one.
Yeah, about race relations.
Yep. And then there is the one of people who get eroticised.
The David Cronenberg one.
Yeah, people who get eroticised by crashes and the victims of car crashes and so on.
And they were very disappointed when they realised they'd mistakenly rented the LA-based race drama.
Yeah, so that made for an awkward kind of 15 minutes before one of them went, not enjoying this.
Oh dear! I mean, that is the class. That must have happened to other people. I mean, but to be fair, Cronenberg's one came out first, didn't it? I think by about 15 years.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Well, it did.
Okay.
I said I think because it bloody did now. Well, you know, there's the classic story of when John Lennon was releasing a single and there was a mispressing at the plant on the reviewers' copies, and they sent out a blank record.
Really?
Yeah, and Richard Williams, a melody maker, wrote a review saying, "What a brave statement this is." The things he's saying with this silence are unbelievable. So, I mean, I don't know though. You kind of go, "Oh, what an idiot!" But I could find myself in that situation itself. If you played the next record, you said this is the new one from I was going to say from Miles Kane, but obviously he's unlikely to do it. But if you were to say this is the new one from Tom York, and it was 3 minutes of silence, I might be stood there going, "Interesting." You're really doing it there, Tom.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
This is XFM. This is Josh Widdicombe, and we are talking this morning about basically when you've gone to see the wrong thing by mistake, or bought the wrong thing, rented the wrong thing. What's the top of the league table currently, Neil?
Michael's text, such a long text.
Such a long text, such a good text.
About a French film.
Go to see a French film, and your mum who rented the wrong crash.
Yeah.
This one we've had from Leanne in Leeds. This is excellent. So this is slightly off topic, but we'll go with it. It's more or less right. She's not a film, no, a wedding. After the break after dinner at my sister's wedding, we're all wondering where my granddad had got to. He had gone and sat in another wedding at the hotel. And was in there for a good 30 minutes before he realised. Brilliant. Absolutely. That's straight to the top of the league table. Sorry, Michael, I know you penned a long missive, but Leanne has trumped you in just one sentence.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM podcast.
This is XFM on a Saturday morning. This is my favourite bed, I think. Bed being the... that's if you don't know radio terminology, that's some very weird terms.
Peeking behind the curtain.
Yeah, peeking behind the curtain. The music which I talk over. Every time you play this one, I just get a lot more relaxed anyway. That's the kind of thing I'd listen to if I was meditating with Alan Carr. So we're talking about other things, but it's week 2 now of a regular feature we've now got called what's it called, Neil?
In Pursuit of the Trivial.
Very exciting, very exciting. I'm excited. This is my favourite feature currently.
Is it?
Yeah. If you didn't hear last week, what happens is Neil knows very little about music trivia, which annoys me because he's a radio producer. So I've now decided every week I'll be giving him a piece of music trivia. Like, we're talking music trivia 101, the main music trivia that's everyone knows. New to Neil, of course, and then he's got to drop it into conversation during the week. And so what did I give you last week, Neil?
It was some trivia about the Smiths.
And what was the trivia?
It was that Johnny Marr wrote this charming man in less time than it takes to perform the song.
Yeah, I mean, as with all these pieces of trivia, I do kind of question whether they're true or just urban myths, but we might call it In Pursuit of the Urban Myths. And how did it go, Neil?
It went all right, I think. I had to leave it quite late.
You had to leave it quite late?
To drop it in, because I had no opportunities this week.
So did you actually just told me this just before we came on air? That's what happened. When did you drop it in?
Literally last night when I got home.
Last night when you got home with the missus?
With the missus.
So, what was it? You've got a recording of it?
As always, yeah, record everything.
So do you want to create a scene? Do you want to set the scene before we hear what happened?
So we were in the kitchen and I just cracked open a beer.
Classic Neil. He cracked open a beer, lad, Friday night.
That's what I like. And then, yeah, just thought, well, the audio explains itself. Ready?
Okay.
You finished that beer quick.
Sorry. You know what else was finished quickly? Right? You know, the Smiths. this charming man, it took Johnny Marr less time to write it than it does to perform it. Did you know that? Interesting.
Is she still there?
She told me to shush.
What were you watching?
We were just about to watch The Last Leg.
Oh, were you? Oh, well, then no wonder she told you to shush. So that didn't go down as well as previous week. Previous week when it set off a massive office-based debate.
Yeah.
So what we're learning is public places are where you want to do this.
Okay.
I mean, the other thing is, I mean, obviously you didn't fake that because you would have given her more lines unless she choked. But I do wonder whether I mean, you could easily get her just to act it out every week. If you weren't doing it, if you were worried.
My wife works for the NHS. She's not an actress.
Oh, she's not an actress. No, fair enough. So, what does she do for the NHS? Not the time.
Occupational therapist.
Occupational therapist. Oh, how I don't even know what that is. So we'll move on. So I'd say that was it's a pass, but more of a fail than the week before. The week before, which was what was the trivia?
Jane Asher made the cake.
No, Delia Smith.
Delia Smith made the cake for the Rolling Stones cover, Let It Bleed.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, you passed twice, so you're on a hat trick here, Neil. Mm-hmm. You're a fast bowler. The field's been brought in. Everyone's in catching positions. You're steaming in, and this is your piece of trivia. When the Beatles went to Marrakesh in the late '60s, Ringo Starr packed lots of tins of baked beans because he didn't trust foreign food.
Okay.
I think that's quite an easy one to get in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you're in a lot of eating situations. You could maybe order beans for something.
I'm going for curry on Sunday night.
You go for curry on Sunday night.
Perfect.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
Arctic Monkeys, Brainstorm, and that's one of those songs that's got a fake ending. And whenever you get one of those songs played live, when people cheer the fake ending, and you think, oh, you're not a proper fan, are you? That's James Acaster. Hello.
Hello, mate. Yeah, I was once at Reading Festival 2000, and a band called My Vitriol.
Oh yeah, I remember.
did a song that had a fake ending, and when everyone cheered, someone went, "It's not finished, you idiots!" And they all really angry, and they all really just like so furious.
I love a fake ending. I think there should be more of them in popular music.
Yeah, I think there should be more in comedy. We should do more. There's the Joker, then. Then we can just carry on.
You thought that was the punchline.
Jam.
How are you, James?
Yeah, good. Yeah, pretty good.
Good.
Yeah, so
got a cup of tea there?
Got a cup of tea. It's a nice brisk morning. Well, it's the afternoon, but
it's the afternoon and it's dreadful outside. But apart from that, you keep raising the tea to your lips and then putting it back down. I'm going to talk, right? I'm going to say something just so that because I need you to drink that tea. The sound. That was like we'd got a BBC sound effects CD called Drinking
guy in the
Tea.
corner with like some water and a triangle and a rain shaker.
Now James is going to walk down a gravel pathway. Has it been a good week?
Yeah, that's been nice.
Yeah?
I've just been doing the usual stuff, Josh.
Good. And this week, I'm just drinking tea loudly.
Just drinking tea really loudly. Neighbours complaining, but what are they going to do? Stop walking down that gravel pathway. We're trying to sleep.
Oh, I'm really parched. Just shut up. After 11 p.m, you're not. So we're talking today about when you've gone to the wrong things, or rented the wrong things, or whatever the wrong things. Have you presumably have stuff on this?
Got about 3 stories about this.
Here we go. Let me just pull up a chair and have a sip of my tea.
One of the shorter ones. When me and my friend Graham went to see Terminator 3.
Yeah, I mean, why?
Why? It was the best of a bad bunch.
Oh, right,
sometimes you go to cinema and you don't really know what you're going to go and see, and you just look at the board and you just make the decision based on what is going to make you regret your life.
Yeah. Fair.
So we did that, and Graham likes to, when we go into the cinema, shout really immature phrases.
Yeah.
So as soon as we walked in, we're behind that big wall where you couldn't see anyone.
Oh, yeah.
he just shouted bums really, really loud.
Yes,
just bums.
classic,
I think that's pretty acceptable.
Yeah.
I shouted that, but really, and I think because it's so immature, it was more embarrassing. We walked in and sat down. We thought we were walking in during the trailers. We realised we were walking in halfway through a different showing of Terminator 3 during a very tense moment where the lady Terminator's looking for John Connor behind a box, and we sat down, realised what it was, and instead of waiting for me, Graham just legged it, just ran out, really ran, and then as I was walking out holding popcorn and a big drink, an old man as I walked past him just went, bums.
Do you think he was referring to him saying that, or that was his reference to what he thought you were like?
I think that man was probably quite happy that he got to do both in one. He's like, I think they're a couple of bums. I do not approve of what they said.
Any others?
Well, you know our friend comedian Mike Wozniak.
I do. Wonderful comedian.
Yeah. Everyone should try and see Mike if they can.
I had to listen to the podcast to check it was like all right, and last time I referred to him, turns out I was having a moustache, which is not actually the kind of praise you want.
But he does have a moustache.
He's better than it. He's got a moustache, but he's better than that.
He is better than that. He doesn't need it. But he was doing a preview of his Edinburgh show in London, and I really wanted to go and see it. I had the night off, so I went along to the venue that was listed in Time Out. And as I got there, the audience was walking in. I just made it in the nick of time, so I ran in on the back of the queue, got in and sat down. All the lights were down, and then the lights, a very faint spotlight just came up, and then there was someone's face who I was like, that man doesn't have a moustache. That doesn't look like Wozniak. And then the person, but I couldn't really quite see it. They started swinging. They had a torch on a skipping rope. They started swinging it around their head. So it was like blinding the audience to go around. They started doing a monologue about a lighthouse. And I thought, this is a very different direction for Mike. I mean,
Mike has ripped up the rule.
His last show was a load of well-observed comic routines, slightly smutty, but he's never done a monologue about a lighthouse before, especially it's his opening gambit. And then I realised I was watching a three-man play about three men who go crazy in a lighthouse, and I was at the back of the room at this point, furthest away from the door. I couldn't leave.
No.
And I watched the whole thing.
Was it good?
It was actually quite enjoyable. Turns out Mike had double booked, or the venue double booked, and Mike had to go and do his preview elsewhere.
I hope there's lots of people wanting a lighthouse-based play in Mike's preview. Well, keep them coming in, listeners, on 83936 or tweet us at XFM.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM podcast.
It's XFM, it's Josh Widdicombe, and as it's the final hour, joined by James Acaster, and we're talking today about times you've gone to the wrong thing, or rented the wrong thing, or read the wrong, whatever. Read the wrong thing wouldn't be one.
Read the wrong thing. Getting up to do a eulogy and reading out an FHM column.
What have you got any reason?
I got a text or a tweet in, I don't know, from Steve from Sunderland.
I kind of I cued that in a very weird way, I realised.
Have I got
you got any?
I have. Steve from Sunderland. Now, he says, as a 12-year-old lad, so, you know.
Is this back in the day, or is Steve from Sunderland a very precocious 12-year-old?
He doesn't really say. But it says, oh God, someone says, sorry, I'm reading this off of my Gmail, and as I was reading it, someone's Google chatted me, and that made me, I'm now reading the wrong thing, ladies and gentlemen. Against all odds, after we said it couldn't happen, I've just started reading the wrong thing.
Who Google chatted you?
Stuart Laws, he says, what you doing?
Why don't you reply? Let's have a reply. I'm live on the radio.
Live on XFM, reading an email. There you go. Stuart knows now. Now, here we go. Steve from Sunderland. Also, now, not only have I read the wrong thing, I've just typed the wrong thing and told him I'm live on XDM. So...
What a scrape!
If no one
believes, scrape, ladies and gentlemen.
In case no one believes, well, scrapes are real. Okay. Steve from Sunderland.
Close down the G-chat, mate. Close down the G-chat.
Yeah, I'm going to close it now because he's typing again. Can I have a shout out? You've already had a shout out, Stu. You've already had way too much attention. This is about Steve from Sunderland. Steve from Sunderland says...
Just before we get into this, just before this new one, just a quick link on this one.
Just a quick link. Trying to get distracted by your mate Stuart. As a 12-year-old lad...
It's better be good. It's better be good, Steve from Sunderland.
I visited the local video store 3 times a week. Doesn't say if he rented stuff.
Like clockwork.
So much so that my dad used to let me rent anything I wanted. And the woman who worked there, in brackets, who was fit, first proper crush, that would explain the trio of visits, used to let me rent 18s without said father being there.
Whoa. She needs sacking.
Yeah, you get 5 for that. I don't care if that 12-year-old's looking at you with doe eyes. One day, I rented Flash Gordon. I mean, really taking that 18 certificate privilege to the max there. And when I got home and put it in the top-loaded machine, a few minutes in, I realised this wasn't Flash Gordon, but Flesh Gordon. The erotic spoof version. Now, I don't think most people refer to pornographic films as erotic spoofs. It's not a spoof, really, is it? It's not like Hot Shots.
I'm enjoying the nudity and the puns.
As a 12-year-old lad, always refers to himself as a 12-year-old lad, never a boy or a lad. I watched an hour, then took it back. Now, I don't know if that's how long it took him to figure it out, or if he was just confused or curious. Then took it back and complained to the very embarrassed, in brackets, fit woman. I mean, he's clearly, he fancies ladies as a 12-year-old. I mean, unless Flesh Gordon didn't, I don't know if it featured ladies.
Let's not get into that.
If anyone knows about the plot lines of Flesh Gordon, if you can tweet him.
Yeah, let's tweet in 83936 or at XFM if you've seen Flesh Gordon.
The very last sentence of this is what I like. After this mix-up, you would think he would be a bit careful with his next rental, but he says, I then proceeded to rent the Goonies.
Well, we got there in the end and it was worth it. You are listening to XFM.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
This is Josh Widdicombe on a Saturday morning on XFM, and we arrive at what Neil said is many people's favourite part of the show to me. He said, bill it as that. But I've got such an ego, I refuse to.
I mean, not many things are as good as the tea slurping.
I know it is. It's actually the bit of the show I look forward to most, which is James Acaster. Hello, James.
Hello, Josh.
Going through telling us about one of his legendary scrapes. This didn't even start as a feature idea. It just kind of organically grew, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Just as the start, because my stupid life.
So what have you got for us this week, James?
Well, this is the third time I've gone to the wrong thing. I mean, I've really. No,
you're in the right
out.
studio. Yeah. You weren't on Choice FM, were you?
I was supposed to be sitting down with Charlotte Church. This was quite a few years ago now when I had a lot of time on my hands and I was looking for any way to fill in an evening. So, and I feel like I should build up to this by saying that. But I went to. I googled what was on in Kettering. Where
Nothing came up, so
yeah. So I stayed in. Basically, there was something called Kettering Board Games Club. On, and I don't know. If anyone has ever been to a board games club.
I haven't been to a board games club, no.
I'm a fan of board games.
Yeah, I like a board game as much as the next man.
Yeah, I mean the website was fairly.
What's your favourite?
I like. Well, I used to really love Cluedo, but I don't really want to say that because obviously that gives you the heads up. You've got about 10 minutes of material.
I've got about 10 minutes of material. I'm not going to just do it on X. Oh, you Cluedo, you say? Well, let me take you through this. No. So you turned up at the board games club.
Yeah, I bought a game called Thrice with me, which is
right.
Because I thought these people they play a lot of board games. If I bring Monopoly or something,
yeah, you'd be laughed out of town.
Yeah, that'll be it. but also I don't want to show off too much. Back of it. So Fry's on the board game. It's
mid-level.
Tagline is a simple game of tactics. I thought that is modest,
right up their street.
Still fairly into that. They're going to go, he's not too cocky, but you know. So I bought that along with me. I had it in my backpack and got my friend James Bug, not to be confused with Jake Bug, to come along with me.
Yeah, Jimmy Bug.
Yeah, he did bring his own board game. He wanted getting on my fright action. Fair enough.
No.
And we knocked on the door of the centre, and this guy answered. He was wearing a Star Trek T-shirt.
Of course he was.
And he looked.
It was Mufti Day.
He was very confused. And he went, yeah, was like, we're here for the board games club. And he went, oh, okay. Led us up some stairs into this room.
Oh no!
And we went into the room, and there's about 3 different tables.
Was it a house?
It was the Mind Centre. The Kettering Mind Centre.
Okay.
Now, but they just used it in the evening. That's all they did.
Yeah.
With Board Games Club hired it out. But we went in the room, and there's 3 different tables, and very quickly...
me the Board Games Club couldn't afford their own premises.
I mean, the budget was pretty tight that year for the Kettering Board Games Club.
I interject. Carry on.
No, interject all you like. But I'm not going to start, wielding the whip on my during my scrapes. I'm not getting so indulgent on them. No one can interject with their own opinions or emotions at any point. But basically, here's the first thing that struck me when I walked in. There wasn't a board in sight. Which I felt... Now, there were some games, but the games were... I don't know if you've ever played or ever... You'll surely be familiar with games like Warhammer.
I know of others, but I can't think of them. Well, there's Warhammer 40,000, which was set in the future.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Someone's more of a connoisseur than I gave him credit for.
What was it called? Games Workshop.
Yeah. So it was stuff like that. So there was one army one, with all the little figurines, and there was another one like loads of fantasy figures like elves and wizards and stuff. And then another table they were playing like a card game, trumpet each other and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, well,
Magic the Gathering.
It was Magic the Gathering. It was Magic.
That's what people at my school were into.
I thought I recognised you. Board games. But I saw this and I thought, well, Thrice is staying in the backpack. I'm not getting out a simple game of tactics in front of these people. They'll laugh me out of town.
Not an orc inside.
Yeah. So they were basically like, what games do you guys want to play? And I was like, I've said the war one because I was like, well, that's my most familiar. That's at least set in real life. I can't even begin to imagine what an orc does. So I was like, I played the army one.
Spare time.
But it was even more because we sat down. We were both like, there were 2 people playing the army game, and me and James were paired up with one of each. And I was with one guy, and he said, "Right, I've made up the rules to this game. So I invented the rules last night, and we've all got them written down on this piece of paper."
Yeah.
And
oh my word!
And they said, first of all, let's decide what team do you want to be, the British or who wants to be the Germans? And no one was volunteering, so I went, "We'll be the Germans." And when I said, it was like I was actually saying, I wish the Germans had won. It was like everyone looked at me like, oh, you can't say that. But we ended up being the Germans, and I figured out about 30 seconds into the game that the British, this guy had painted his figurines himself. He painted the British Army to look like the characters from popular TV show Dad's Army. And at one point, I had to make the decision and shoot Pike in the face. And because you got to properly roll the dice, it told you if you got a headshot or not. And I properly shot Pike in his face.
Ian Lavender,
who sadly, I mean, he's one of the few cast members who's still alive, and I picked him off early doors. As the game progressed,
Did Clive Dunn face you out?
Yeah, Clive. I was like, right, Dunn's next.
This is for Grandad.
As
who were yours dressed as? The cast of Alfie's same pair?
If only. But as the game progressed, I made worse and worse decisions. Most of the time, I chose to hide behind a rock. And my teammate...
In the game?
Yeah.
Right in the room.
James, it's your go. You can't get out of this. How did you get a rock into the mind centre? But basically, my teammate got very frustrated with me and started saying stuff like, "You do realise we're going to lose if you keep this up," and we did lose. And he did not. He refused to speak to me for the rest of the evening. That was it. I was in the bad books. I had to go and make the teas as a punishment, and also get the biscuits. And I bought some. I found some caramel digestives, and they told me to put those back because he told me to put those back when we lost.
Amazing. Well, that is a classic scrape. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I can't believe you shot Ian Lavender in the face.
Also, none of them said goodbye to us. That is another thing I'd like to add.
Oh, yeah, of course they didn't. You're a bloodthirsty killer.
I'd never come back.
Don't kill him, Pike. Oh, well, thank you, James. That's going to take... Well, I say everything. That's going to take some topping. If you want to comment on that, it's hashtag Classic Scrapes. Get that right.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
James, thank you for coming. As always, you get the opportunity now for your hard work to plug. But Neil is going to set 30 seconds for you to plug. So, Neil, if you want to cue this in.
3, 2, 1.
On Tuesday evening at 11 o'clock, my Radio 4 programme will be on. James Acaster's Findings, where I'll be discussing the subject of bread for half an hour. And on Friday, the 29th, I'll be doing my final tour show at the Salford Lowry.
Oh, that's lovely.
And my Twitter handle's at James Acaster. And going to Kettering today.
That was very good. That is kept in the podcast, presumably.
Yep, I'll keep that in.
The 30 seconds adds a real peril. I enjoyed.
I like it.
Yeah, I do like it.
I quite enjoy it now, actually.
So do I get 30 seconds as well?
Okay, do you want queuing in?
Yeah, why not?
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Tonight, I'm in Much Wenlock, which apparently has 20 centimetres of snow and is a 3-hour drive anyway. So maybe I will be stuck there for the rest of the week. And I have Didcot next Saturday as a tour show, and the final last leg is on at 9:30. Final one of the series. It's coming back. Don't worry. Don't cry. It's on next Friday at 9:30 with Kevin Bridges. So there we go. At Josh Widdicombe. God, it's exciting, isn't it?
It's good, yeah. You can see how that really motivates people to solve anagrams. And
How many letters have you got? I've got 6. There we go. Thank you very much. Now, as always, we end with classic final songs from albums. That's the word. I thought the link's gone so well, and then I couldn't remember the word albums.
Final songs of people's careers. That's the last one they wrote.
Might as well be with the Strokes, because this is their first album. Take it or leave it.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast. XFM.